recording. Right. Yeah. So I thought of playing this very beautiful video. I am truly inspired every time I watch this song. And it is not the final success that has been shown here in this particular song, but it is the struggle that has been shown, right? How they did not give up and how we celebrated. Remember, we have all seen how we couldn't, in first attempt, we could not do, our ISRO scientists could not do whatever we wanted to achieve because of various constraints that we have. And finally, when we could, the Mars mission that we could finally do, it was such a beautiful moment. And similar thing happened when we won the World Cup also this time, right? So things keep changing. What is most inspiring is your resilience, right? When you say that I do not give up in spite of any odd, is the most beautiful thing. It is the story of your life. If you think that success comes easily to anyone and everyone, it is only because you know half the story. Half the story you do not know, right? So everything happens in a sine curve. Whatever goes up comes down, and whatever, if it is down, it will go up, right? And in both, we should be one, humble, and two, always be prepared that, our time will come. Keep our stability intact, our balance intact, our cool intact, and know that success is a byproduct. Okay? Money is a byproduct, fame is a byproduct. It'll come. And when after so much hard work, when this success, fame, and money would come to you, you would know how beautiful and wonderful it is, right? So if some shortcut happens and you get something, you yourself do not feel really nice, right? So I played this song as I wanted you all, because that's the theme of the day today. I will reveal to you what is it that I want to convey to you, and it's a very powerful message. In fact, every time I talk about it, I get motivated, right? So I want to talk about growth mindset and fixed mindset to you all first, right? I want to tell you a small story. I went to my friend's place a couple of days back, and she has a daughter around 4 years old, and very smart girl. How kids are these days, right? Way ahead of how we were as children. They speak so smartly, they're technologically advanced, they learn so much. They don't know how to write ABCD also, but they're framing proper sentences, they're talking such big things. So it feels very, you get enamored by them. So I just complimented that girl and I said, how intelligent you are. You are so smart. And the moment I said that, her mother, who's a very dear friend, she corrected me and she said, she's not smart, she's hardworking. I asked her, what is the difference? Why this correction? She's smart. She says, no. If you say she's smart, then it'll go into her subconscious that she's smart. But if you say you're hardworking, that will go into her subconscious. If you say she's smart, today she's smart and she's putting across herself smartly, and then it will be a benchmark for her. And at any point in time, she falls below that benchmark, because that's going to happen in life, isn't it? If you say, I will only rise and rise and rise, that's not possible. Okay, the rocket also requires a certain amount of fuel, and that fuel will go down. It has to be constantly pumped in with that fuel for it to go upward throughout, right? So, but if you say she's smart, she'll think I'm smart. And she will, one, not attempt anything which is challenging. She will say that I may prove everyone else wrong that I'm not this smart. And I may prove it to myself. People are most scared of yourself. I'm scared of myself. I don't want to let myself down. I've created an illusion of my own in my own head. I want to fool myself that I am smart, and thus I do not one appear or I do not compete because I'm good in my comfort zone. But the moment I say I'm hardworking, I'm okay with my failure also. Because as long as I've worked hard and my conscious knows it, the failure is nothing but just a feedback that maybe the way I prepared wasn't correct, or maybe I required a little more preparation, or maybe my direction has to be, like you say, course correction has to be done, right? A little bit of change in direction may be required. So while speed is good, direction is also important. Where you are going, only then you can reach your destination, right? If an aircraft is going from Delhi to Mumbai and it just loses track a little bit and lands at, say, Bangalore, the passengers say, I paid the ticket for Mumbai. You've taken me to Bangalore. The pilot cannot say that, but I flew so well, isn't it? But the flying was so good and the speed was nice. You're worried about the direction? No. The direction is also important. While you're working hard, you have to keep in mind where you're going. And that course correction will continuously happen. That's growth mindset. That's part of the thing that I am hardworking. I may fail, I may pass. That's okay. That's a feedback. But all throughout, the pilot also, when he's sitting in the cockpit, he's not just putting one direction and going. There are many variants. There is clouds, there is turbulence, there are winds, there are ATC instructions, there are other aircraft in the air, and he continuously makes corrections and reaches the final destination. So if we think that we are doing and what we are doing is absolutely correct, is absolutely wrong. Every day when we wake up, we have to, in the morning, set a birds flying. Absolutely. They make course correction. They're animals and they know where to go, when to go. That direction is also important and probably more important than speed also. And while that direction is also important, that course correction, that final tuning towards your final destination has to be continuously done, right? I also wanted to cover one very beautiful other story wherein, I saw a documentary on the bees, Madhumakhi. So what do bees do, They work, they're always in a hive. They always stay together, stick together. They're very hardworking, just like ants, all right? And they have a mission. They have a mission in hand that we have to make so much so honey, right? And yeah, honeybees, absolutely, sir. They have to make honey, right? So they're very hardworking. But the special thing about the bees is they have a language of their own. And they're constantly communicating to each other that where is the honey and what are the mistakes that they've made in the past. So the first generation keeps telling the next generation, and that's why they're so immaculate and they're so perfect, and how they do is absolutely so nice. If you see the beehive, it's so beautiful, and it's a so meticulously done work. And so does spider webs and all this in the nature, everything symmetrical. When it happens, it's so beautiful. And something like this happens in the Tesla cars also, similar, very similar. Now, bees, you will say bees are bees and Tesla cars. The Tesla has been doing experiments in which they'll have no drivers. The car would drive on its own, all right? And you are sitting and the car is driving, and whatever course corrections and everything, there is a car coming from front, he'll turn left, right, and the people inside are speaking and things like that. And once the full journey has been done, you come home and you download that into your computer. You're supposed to, the owner is supposed to download the route that they have passed, and whatever the car is continuously learning, like AI these days, always learning on its own. Alexa also, they stay with you, they change according to you, which song do you like, and how you speak. Like that, Tesla cars are also adapted.
Suburam Magatak.
One minute. Mute everyone. So the Tesla cars also keep doing that. All right. And The moment you put it on the computer, all the Tesla cars, they get the feedback that these are the mistakes that were made, and we do not have to make these mistakes. So they pass on information to each other. So what is the message here? The message here is that we as human beings, we have something called accidental family or accidental colleagues, where we are probably working, or we are born, or we get married. They're accidental. And the other is the spiritual family, the spiritual colleagues. And your what? Your average of the top 5 people that you sit with, the top 5 things that you discuss. So be careful of where you are, okay? What is the energy that you're taking in? What are you discussing? Because the feedback that you get from each other is very valuable. So if you keep yourself in a group of people who are probably pulling you down or pulling your energies down, it is better to maintain a little gap, a little distance from them to protect your energy, right? So physical presence does not matter, is what you take inside your system, all right? Even if they're in close proximity, because they're accidental, and that's okay. Divine has got you here, and that's okay. And you decide that who is your spiritual family and who are those top 5 people that you would like to be with. Mostly they should be like-minded friends or your mentors who would, constantly give you some feedback on how to improve. One more story that really, really attracted me, and I just want to, in case you allow me, before we get into, yeah. Can I tell one more story which really, really inspired me today? And I found it because I'm very fond of stories, and I feel stories are a wonderful way of conveying something to us, right? That's why Panchtantra were there, right? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vijay, sir. As kids, we would just read, but if we apply it, it just so clarifies our thought process, right? So there was this big, majestic elephant who was there in a kingdom, and he was loved by the king a lot. He was his favorite pet. He would, such a big, giant animal and totally well trained, well behaved. The elephant was in love with the king, and the king loved him also very dearly. He was very well mannered, very well behaved, showed his respect. Whenever the king would approach, he would, move his trunk up and down, and the king was always very happy. Suddenly, uh, within few days, suddenly the elephant started showing some hormonal changes. It looked as if there are some hormonal changes in the elephant, because he was moody. He was not showing the kind of behavior that he would show to the king. And king assumed that, what is it? What is it? Is this hormonal thing, or, what has happened to my elephant? He would not be that loving, and that kind of relation that they had. We experience that with our dogs, with our cats, also with our little babies also, who don't speak. I mean, language is just a, means of communication. We speak energetically. You would agree to that. And the elephant was, not the one that he was usually. And the king said, he called his very favorite person in his darbar, and he said, can you just keep an eye on this guy, what he does and how he is? Because one of the ways of finding out the problem is not discussion or anything, but just observation. You observe what the person is doing and why his behavior pattern changing. Just observe this guy for some time, and we'll find out what is it that has changed in the last 1 week or 2 weeks. Let's observe him. So this Senapati had no other work but to just observe this elephant. So he observed the pattern was that where the elephant was tied, at around 2 o'clock from the last 1 week, a group of thieves were coming, and they were discussing what they did in the entire day. What they looted, how they looted, who they killed, punched, right? And their action plan for the next day. At night 2 o'clock, they would do that. And that is the time the elephant would listen to this conversation. Okay. Now he's just an animal, but there is something, the chemistry of his being was changing. And he started behaving differently. Different altered behavior was seen in this elephant. So the Senapati was a mature guy. He's observed this once. He observed it second day, third day, fourth day. For the seventh day, when he saw that the only change that has happened is that this group of thieves coming and discussing near the tree. He went to the king and he finally told the king that this is what it is happening. So the king said it's totally unacceptable because one, there cannot be thieves in my kingdom. And secondly, my very dear elephant, he understood immediately. He energetically was connected to the elephant. He said, one, just arrest them at 2 o'clock, just arrest them, take them away. And now he tactically at the same time put a group of priests who would come there close to the same tree at night 2 o'clock and would do mantra ucharan for the similar duration of the time when these thieves were discussing, whatever the time was, around 1.5 hours. So the priests went and started doing. And within a week's time, the consciousness of the elephant totally altered and he came back to his original self. In fact, he was even better. Beautiful story, isn't it? That is what is the importance of sitting in a beautiful Sangha. A group of people who are like-minded and who are always trying to grow, right? So when you say, fine, there are 3 attributes for which a person works, okay? The first is trying to know that who I am, okay, through the ups and downs of life. Satsang, absolutely. So who am I is the first thing that we should try to know. The second thing that we should try to know is the physical aspect of our being, right? That why, if you notice, we only observe maximum through our eyes. The sensation is mostly through our eyes, through our maybe ears. Try to, let your all senses be on a heightened state. Try to listen to the things, observe the things that you're probably missing out in your peripheral vision, and try to listen to the things, how you're ignoring, say, the fan moving, or, the AC, the sound of the AC, or small insects outside your house, how we're ignoring them. So they're the physical aspects of your, which we probably ignore. And then try to understand what is it that your Atma is trying to tell you. Spend some time talking to yourself, go inwards and try to spend some time. What is it that your being is trying to tell you, right? And when we come in a group setting like this and we come with an intention all together that we will be learning, all right? We will be heightening our emotional state. We will be combating something in our life which is of no use to us, and we will be putting something into our life which is essential, right? So constant removal and constant gathering. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing the class. Yeah. So let's get started, right? To today's practice. And the theme today that we have is that nothing is permanent, right? And everything is temporary, changing. Can you hear my voice and music both? Yeah? So I want you to close your eyes, keep your hands on your heart, and let's get inwards. Let's make use of this beautiful Sangha that we have, that Sat Sangha that we have, right? Union of soul family coming together and together elevating our consciousness. And as we elevate our consciousness, our outer reality is nothing but a reflection of our inner reality. All right? So if something goes wrong in my outer reality, I don't complain. I only look inwards into my inner reality. And then I make course corrections. I make little subtle changes in my being, and I move forward. And while I do that, I keep my Sangha beautiful. Together, moving towards heightened consciousness. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take a deep breath and exhale. And repeat after me to your subconscious mind. The root cause of all the suffering in the world is one belief. The root cause of all the suffering in the world is only one belief, that all my problems are permanent. Dear universe, the root cause of all my suffering is only one belief, that all my problems are permanent. This one belief makes me feel struck. This one belief makes me suffer. This one belief stops me from feeling happy. This one belief stops me from being in the moment. This one belief makes me take away the joy of my life. Because no problem is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Then how come my problems are permanent? Since childhood till date, have I had 5-6 problems or hundreds of problems? I've had hundreds of problems. But today, I don't remember them. I know only 2-3 problems. And even these problems are not permanent. And today I know that there is no use being anxious about my future, because even these problems, like my old problems, are not permanent. Dear universe, thank you for telling me this today, that no problem is permanent. What is permanent is my resilience, my capability of bouncing back, my capability of handling it. I am permanent, and no problem is permanent. Dear universe, thank you so much for informing me today that none of my problems are permanent. And what is permanent is my resilience, my strength, my belief in myself, my belief in my emotions, my responsibility towards my emotions, my ability to respond to these problems. Because none of my problems are permanent. What is permanent is my resilience. What is permanent is my strength. What is permanent is my belief in myself and my ability to respond to these problems. Take a deep breath and let's go a little more inwards. And as you do that, ask yourself, is there any problem that I can remember in my past that has always been there? Is there any problem which has been there 365 days, 24 hours, forever, every moment, every second? If the answer is no, then congratulations, you're on correct path. No problem is permanent. What is permanent is your ability to respond to your problems, is your resilience, is the strength that is within you. It is your hard work. And knowing that problems are a part of life. They will come and they will go. Is it even important to let your energy flow towards those problems? Ask yourself, is there any problem that has been permanent? And if the answer is no, then you are on correct path. That means whichever problem you have right now, count those 2-3 problems and tell those problems right on their face. You are not important. You're not going to stay here forever. In few years' time, or maybe few months' time, and who knows, maybe only in few days' time, you would not be significant. And that time, I would move to some other problems. Because you are not permanent. What is permanent is my resilience, my strength, my ability to respond to you. So, dear problems, you may relax. I don't worry about you because I believe in myself. Take a deep breath and let's go inwards again. We're talking to our subconscious now and taking blessings from the universal power that resides in my subconscious brain. Dear universe, I am now ready to receive your magic. Dear universe, I'm now ready to receive your magic without any logic. Dear universe, I'm now ready to receive your magic without any questions, without any doubt. Dear universe, guide me in the right direction. Dear universe, give me your blessings. I don't know how you would do it, but I know I deserve happiness, and I know you would give me that happiness in abundance, sooner or later. And while these problems surround me right now, I know they are very small. Slowly, slowly, they would go away, and my abundance would come to me. So thank you in advance, dear universe, for always being there. Even when I thought my problems were not permanent, you reminded me today that my problems are not permanent. Thank you, dear universe, for reminding me that what is permanent is me and your support, your forever love. Thank you, dear universe, for always being there for me. Wonderful. Let's give divine blessings to each other. But before that, take your hands, rub them, take the energy, generate it. Feel the warmth, put it all around your forehead, your head, your cheeks, your shoulders, your thighs, your calf, and let the energy everywhere around you tell you that your problems are not permanent. Failure and success is a part of life. What is more important is your resilience, right? Today we have one problem, tomorrow we may have some other. And all our life, our problems kept changing. So no problem is permanent. And thus, they're not worth our time and effort, our attention. What is important is our focus towards our growth, isn't it? And problems would go away because wherever our attention goes is where the energy flows, right? And we all keep flickering during the day. What is important is our resilience and importance to come back. And that coming back happens when you have that beautiful Sangha like ours, all right? And choose your friends wherever you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Papyaji. Wow. Thank you so much for this lovely message. And yeah, thank you so much, Vijayji. Let's do that. Let's give blessings to each other, right? So let's give blessings to each other and to ourselves, okay? See the reflection of yourself also in the camera, and you're giving blessings to each one of us present here because it is no coincidence that we've come here. We believe that everything happens in a very synchronized way, and we are present here to raise our consciousness and to rise above the petty problems that surround us right now. They are not worth our time, effort, and energy. Whatever is the outcome of our efforts, good or bad, right or wrong, is always in our favor. And while that is happening, may all of us present here, our health as in our physical, emotional, mental, our relationships with ourselves, with people around her physically, people away from us, and all those around in this world, our career, may it business or our job, our money situation, our personal development goals, our spiritual stamina. May we thrive and thrive in every area of our life, and may we grow abundantly beyond our thoughts, right? May the consciousness always shower its beauty and love on us today and forever. Tathastu. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving and receiving blessings. And you would appreciate it's time for a little bit of gratitude also because, wherever we are, whatever we have right now is something we prayed for a few years back, isn't it? And we have it. Thank you so much, Vijayji. We have it today. So don't we have to feel, thankful for what we have? And that's human nature to keep figuring out more problems and more stresses and more anxieties. We love it. That's part of our, evolution, the story that I always tell, right? Thank you so much, Mishraji. So that's part of our evolution, but our role is to keep our consciousness high and let that success is inevitable. It's coming to you, all right? So anyone, anything you would like to share on this? Do you think problems are permanent? Any thoughts that you have around this? I would love to hear from you. No, I have some wonderful coaches also here today. Srinivas, would you like to say something? What do you feel? How do you feel? Speak up. It's okay. I know you must be in library. Are you typing that? No problem. But I hope it is working and it's beautiful, isn't it? I look forward to the 7 p.m. meeting with all of you to see the smiley faces of all of you. Vijayji, Srinivas, I can see on camera. Wow, totally resonate with today is answer the prayers of yesterday. Absolutely, absolutely. And while we are working towards our future, our bright future, which is, with so much consciousness, energy in ourselves. And, because I'm reminded with this, like, I am reminded of a beautiful quote, which, people would think, people had thought, a few years back that time is everything. Time is a beautiful resource. But more than that, I think people have started to understand that it is the energy which is more important than the time also. Because even if you put lesser time with more energy, with heightened consciousness, with more focus, you can achieve more results, isn't it? Earlier, we would travel by road, by train, and now we have aircraft. We have rockets also now. Distance is not an issue. You are sitting somewhere, Uganda, he's sitting in Uganda, isn't it? And I'm sitting here in India, and all of us are sitting in different places. Such time is not a constraint. I don't have to travel all the way to meet you and sit with you and, take your energy. I'm soaking in your energy right now being here, isn't it? So time is not important. What is important is energy. So keep your energy high in all areas and consciously work towards it by telling yourself that your problems are all temporary. Feeling blessed to have you with me, ma'am. Thank you and Almighty God. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's what I want. I want you to vibrate on this high frequency. And when you vibrate on this high frequency, you attract nothing but magic, isn't it? Because magic is on high frequency. So you have to reach on high frequency to attract that magic into your life. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and keep coming here, right? And let's exchange more and learn from each other more, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.